All right, so how are we gonna start this one?
I
Well, we could just play some porn music.
well, we could just play some porn music.
Hand over that bone.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Welcome to Rough Cuts. The music that I put in there is actually from this film. Here is my co-host and friend. Well, maybe not anymore, Boix.
Frenemy,
You made me
how's it
watch
going?
this. Why did you make me watch this?
It is okay. First of all, it's illegal to have a movie in the '70s that takes place in the '70s that does not have porn music. So
That's yes, yeah, that is true.
throw
It
that
is
out there.
79, but
Yeah.
that is like it's the outside of the 70s, but it's still inside of it technically.
And why I made you watch this? Because I like to watch you suffer.
Well, suffer I did.
Yep.
Oh boy. This is C.H.O.M.P.S is the movie, which is God, I actually remember this. Canine Home Protection. Uh-oh. What's the
Yeah.
S? Home protection
System.
system? System.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's C.H.O.M.P.S.
Yes. Yes.
They couldn't come up
H-O-M
with a
stands for home.
God damn
They
it.
chopped off one letter in a 4-letter word and used that as part of this act. Fuck it. Is that not the perfect summary of what this movie is, though?
Well,
Like, just how half-assed that
it's
is.
lazy. Yeah, it's lazy, but they put a ton of money into early '90s soundboard technology,
Yeah.
and it's not every day you get an Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard or
Over top of a fucking dog.
yeah, or a gun noise as the dog opens its mouth to bark. Important stuff that is
Yeah.
very important.
They
Like,
did spend a lot of money on this film.
This dog is like an early 2000s prank call fucking YouTube channel.
It's the early morning DJ that you had in the early 2000s.
It's just as exhausting as the early morning DJ. Fuck off, Chomp.
It really is. God, it's
Jesus.
so... It's...
Like, I've never had a movie suck so much life out of me by doing the most baffling dumb shit at the exact same moment.
Right? Like, I was watching it and I was like, oh man, I feel like, is it just that I've lost the joy of bad movies? Because I'm like, this movie is doing all of the things I want it to do. There's a weird dog that's barking out gunshot noises as it causes a car accident and then drags a van in front of like a bunch of thieves to crush them. And then, but it just feels lifeless. Like there's no joy to it somehow.
I got it. This is the late 70s version of Asylum movies. This is it.
Maybe that. God, maybe that's it.
It feels like a Sharknado.
Yeah. It's got that same. Every wacky thing on the planet is happening, but everybody inside of the movie and like that's making the movie doesn't give a shit, and so it feels like that.
All right, some sort of a fucking hack fraud had to have written. Let me.
Oh God, this is the
Joseph Barbera. Joseph Barbera is a hack fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. I knew the joke you were going for here because this is a Hanna Barbera movie, and the talent attached to it vastly outstrips the quality of the movie. Because
Oh my God.
Well, but like, there's a lot of really talented people involved in this.
Okay, I will start naming them. There's the wood paneling.
There's the red buttons.
Buttons.
No, that's an actor. That's actually a man.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
The blazer, very important. Shag carpet, the flower couch. I remember all these things very clearly.
I remember the part of the movie where he goes, all right, it's behind the wood paneling. Where's the wood paneling?
Yeah!
It's like, it's the 70s. It's all wood paneling.
It's all wood paneling, you idiot.
The whole movie's been wood paneling. This is the worst advice to give your thieves. No wonder why they're fucking shit up.
I can't believe they actually transported them into my grandma's basement at one point in this film.
I've been in that house. Yeah, my other.
Yeah, I've been
they
in that
didn't-
house. I've been
They
there.
didn't have the cat clock or like the cat phone stuff. Like didn't have that.
No.
Because that was definitely in my grandma's house.
They must have just like removed it for the scene and then put it back. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. They realized that it didn't look appropriate for the security office.
Cam, what the fuck is Chomps?
I don't want to talk about the movie.
But-
Don't make me talk about the
But
movie.
what the fuck is
The
Chomps?
points I've enjoyed like just shooting shit about stuff that's not movie. Don't bring me to movie. Movie was bad. I don't want to do movie. Don't
Yeah,
make me movie.
Up your poop, Grandma.
Okay, that part was great. You can't just up your poo, Grandma. And just up your poop, Grandma. Okay, it does start strong because that's in the first 2 minutes of this movie. I guess that you are graciously giving me describing monster.
Yeah.
And up your poop, Grandma. So I kind of can't do it. There is a crime wave going through the most upper class, like multi-million-dollar palatial home suburban area ever, where there is a crime a minute. There is always a robber outside of every door, literally at all times, always
Yes.
trying to break in. And that's how we start our film, is one of these palatial houses is being broken into by two bumbling burglars who then immediately get drop-kicked by a dog?
Yes.
And, like, a tiny little terrier through the door. And then that dog runs outside with a bone and meets Monster, which is... I feel it's a giant schnauzer, maybe? It could be that.
It's a schnauzer who speaks only in jive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Yup.
a product of its time.
This hack fraud, Joseph Barbera, dig him out of his grave and make him explain these crimes.
It's not great, but he does a very low, gruff voice. And he's a giant, big schnauzer. It comes along, and then along comes Muffin with the grandmother, and it's a little schnauzer, or like a little terrier of some kind, and she's walking with it, and goes, "Oh, Monster, get out of the way!" And Monster turns and looks at Grandma, and Muffin goes, "Up your poop, Grandma."
Yeah. Like, okay, man.
Up your poop, Granny. And in this deep voice, and it's the weirdest fucking shit. Like, that felt really racy for 79, right? Like, I kind of felt like that was dirty for now.
Yeah, it was a thing.
If you'd said "up your ass, Grandma," it would have been like a tenth as filthy.
Like, they even had the dog flip her off with middle paw.
It gets real raunchy here. Like, that dog, the look on its face, like the way it rolls its tongue out when it says "up your poop, Granny," it's pretty.
Oof. Can't believe they did that. But we're introduced to the most boring man in America, which is our main character. Okay.
I don't think that's fair. Because there's other characters in this film. There's got to be some competition for most boring man in this film. You can't just go away and handing the prize out to the first person.
That's true.
Everyone
That's
in this film.
So he's inventor man who invents security systems for the low paying job of owns a mansion.
Yes. God, did they threaten him later with, "Well, you're gonna go and take unemployment checks then," and it's like, he probably never needs to find gainful employment again. He has a pond out front with like 5 statues in it, and I'm not joking.
Yo, this motherfucker started Microsoft with a small loan of $2 million from his parents in his garage.
He pulled himself up by his bootstraps once.
This fucking asshole. So he's making a security system. He's at a meeting with some company to be like, "Hey, I installed your security system. It's good to go. We did it. Now you're safe." And then crime happens immediately. Right
Yeah.
then and there. At that exact
Yeah.
second.
And it is not good crime.
No!
It's bad crime.
Our
Very
Laurel and
bad
Hardy
crime.
recurring bumbling idiot villains show up with woman who is used as a prop in the film at gunpoint to hold her as a hostage and say, "Ha, give me your money, store." And they're like, "This is an office. Sir, this is a Wendy's. I'm going to need to ask you to leave." And he's like, "Oh, well then give me your wallets." Okay.
I guess, yeah. They take off all of their necklaces and stuff, and they basically just mug them instead.
Yeah, and then because they're so wacky, they walk into the closet instead of leaving out the door, and then they can't open the door, and then they don't know how to leave, and the fucking scene just goes on forever.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a whole, like, big Laurel and Hardy is what you said is kind of the energy.
But
stick the whole time, but
it's trying to be Laurel and Hardy, but here's the thing. So Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers, the Three Stooges, these are all like pretty timeless, classic slapstick humor. You can go back and watch a Laurel and Hardy meet the Wolfman or whatever, and it'll still be funny, or Duck Soup, because it has actual well-written, good comedy.
it's got good timing and stuff too.
Yeah,
right? Like
it's snappy, right?
Yes, I was gonna say part of the thing about like slapstick, I think that's really important is you've got to get the timing right. Like it's if somebody gets hit in the head with a plank, it can't be like a slow upwards motion. Do you know what I mean? Like they can't like accidentally slowly raise it up.
It
like,
has to.
It's got to be really snappy.
Yeah, I agree.
Like stuff like that has to be timed perfectly, and instead, like this is them over 20 seconds, slowly, creakily backing into
it shows a fundamental
office. And it's like that's not funny anymore. Like
No.
it took so long that like the surprise factor of all of that kind of stuff is out. Like same when they hit him with the door a second later, like he shoves the door on the other thief when he's inching out and gets him stuck inside again. But like it's not like a snappy like boom and then oh god and then like they go out. It's nothing like that. It's a very, very slow push him into the corner, and it's like, but why?
It feels like a
why isn't he saying anything?
Yeah, it's like a fundamental misunderstanding about how comedy works and why it works, and this is just the first scene of that, and it keeps happening.
Alien, like, and these are comedians. One
like,
of these
well-known comedians
won an Oscar.
Yeah.
But it just there's something so lifeless about it. It just is so slow and plodding in a way, despite it being the wackiest shit that it just this movie broke me.
Yeah.
Because like I want to like everything that it's doing. The things that I'm describing are good, but none of the ways that they're done are good. And it hurts. This was super painful.
He gets fired from the security job and goes back home. Woman who is just a prop, who is also love interest, Jesus Christ, goes to his house / garage / Grover house that he built on his own and put a vent right next to the window and burnt the sidewall of his fucking house grilling.
And he had the dog already like leap through the wall to stop burglars in the first scene.
This man is 100% Grover House fucking dumbass bullshit. So she comes in to complain that she told her dad that she wanted to get married to this failure of a dumbass, and he rightfully said no, he's a failure of a dumbass. And he's like, oh, don't worry, I have a new idea for a new security system, and I've already built it. Let me bring it in. It's my dog. Which she's very easily confused, of course, because he keeps fucking not answering her questions and being a dick.
Yeah,
about why
could very easily go, oh, see, it's made to look like my dog, but it's actually a robot, and not fuck with her for like 3 minutes.
Instead of how he explains this, he rips his fucking head off.
Yes, Like, he's just an asshole. It's just a total dick move. Every single time that they pull his dog in, nobody wants to, like, just actually explain it to anybody. They all want to be coy assholes about it, to the point where it's like, oh man, you're just a fucker. Like, it's not just this scene. Every time they introduce this dog to somebody new, they do it.
So he takes the dog out, puts it on the table, beheads it, rips its skin off.
It's really awful. It sucked to watch.
To show her that it's a robot and not his real dog that looks exactly the same, and that's not fucking creepy. And then he starts talking about how this taxidermied fucking robot
it really looks like a taxidermy dog. It really looks like a taxidermy dog.
Yeah, it has a computer system inside of it with an AI light bulb that he's programmed to play cassette noises through its mouth and listen to numbered directives, which are numbered 1 to 100, but not all of the numbers 1 to 100, just the really rare ones that people won't say, like 100.
Like 100, yes.
Fucking idiot.
Why didn't you program it with all the important numbers? 100, 1,337, 69.
Yeah, 69. Yeah.
Why is he missing all the important ones?
You know,
They never once yell out a good 69 in this whole movie.
He never said really Directive 69, and that would have been the best sound clip of this whole film. But that's not true, because there's a better sound clip later we'll talk about. So, I'm going a mile a minute because there's nothing to talk about. So, after that, he tells her that the dog has X-ray vision, and the dog is randomly active because he said Directive 21, which is the code word for, I don't know, do whatever the plot asks you to, dog. Jesus Christ.
Yes. That's the learning algorithm. That's how you activate Skynet, because this dog's AI takes over and it just learns. And eventually, it kills.
Yes! It's straight
like,
up
that's not a joke. It does. It does that.
So the dog jumps through a window because he sees the same two bumbling idiot criminals outside of their house / garage / Grover house, and causes a ton of damage to the home, and then runs after them. They climb a tree, so he starts knocking down the tree, which knocks them into the neighbor's yard, and then they get away by hiding in a bathtub full of naked ladies.
Yeah.
So at this point, our main character tells us that he didn't install an affection response in his dog because he didn't want it to know human emotions, and he wanted to be a horrible, awful, brainless killing machine.
Yep. Yeah, he does explicitly state that. I just wanted to point out, though, so, like, with how you drew this up, because I wanted to go, there's so little movie to actually talk about.
Yes.
I want to talk about some kind of the themes and some of the stuff around the movie. In that, like, how you were saying that she is the woman that's just there to be there, right? Like, she's just a simple woman.
Yeah.
So much so that now we've kind of been introduced to the plot, right? Or at least one of the plots, in that he needs the approval of her father to marry her.
Okay.
But that's what I'm, and that's what I mean. Like, she's so superfluous to the plot that even her marriage to him doesn't hang in the balance here. It's just that she needs her dad, another man again, to tell her that it's okay. Like, she is just absolutely superfluous. It's incredible how much they've written her out of this film. Like, she has zero agency.
She is literally a prop. Like, actual, literally a prop. That wasn't a joke. That was
I know. I did, but like, I just wanted to like emphasize how bad it is, right? Like, the whole plot is that he needs to have the approval of her father. Her approval is like never in question. It's
her opinion doesn't matter.
Men have to decide.
Yeah, it's all men. The women don't matter in this film at all. It's very obvious.
It sucks how much a product of its time it is.
Someone dig up the grave of Joseph Barbera.
Fucking teach this man something. But it's just awful that way. And I mean, to give it, I said like that it's such a product of its time. But the thing is that I looked it up. This is the same year as Alien, where you had Ripley.
And they both have slasher villains. So
They do both have slasher villains.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
So after Chomps is honking at them and playing sirens and seal noises.
oh yes, it does a seal. It does a barking seal. I was gonna say there's like car alarm kind of
It's just
noises and honking
whatever
and
stock
gunshots.
sound effect they had.
They have train noises at certain points.
Whatever.
Oh god, there's like a lot of laser noises. Like there are so many
Whatever.
noises you would not believe.
So yeah, so Granny from Up Your Poop Granny scene loses her dog.
Every time that Up Your Poop Granny comes up, I just feel like I need soap or hand
I'm gonna point
sanitizer
out
or...
we are making this sound way more entertaining than it is. Do not watch this film.
No.
As a warning. Okay, so Up Your Poop Granny loses her dog and then blows her dog whistle to try and call it back. And the dog whistle activates the kill screen that was hard coded in to fucking Chomps, which then breaks through a wall, through a window, pulls a car or something, causes multiple car accidents.
I don't remember this one. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
like a bunch of mayhem and people do a pile up, I think.
And then a cop blows his whistle because of the car accident, and then Chomps is like, oh, I guess I'm done killing now. And then goes back.
Yeah.
And they never address this.
He overcomes his MK Ultra programming at the sound of a whistle again and just goes back.
Whatever.
So this scene and the way you're describing it, like you said, like, and then he just goes back like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And that is accurate. Nothing happened here. There's no plot. And that's most of this movie, which is why it's so hard to talk about in a lot of ways, is that it is these 5-minute vignettes of, and it's just repeated ad nauseum, of Chomps hears or sees something and reacts to the situation. Oh my god, it's comical because look, it's a little dog.
Yeah.
And then reset, dog goes back to the house. Like that's the movie, right? Like it's slightly different locations of Chomps getting into a thing and then just it resets back at the house again. They're like, oh, we've got to go to next spot.
Okay,
so anyways, let's go to the next spot.
So now our main character, inventor dumbass Grover Houseman, goes to a woman who is just a props dad, who I guess owns Norton Internet Antivirus.
Norton Security Services. Yep.
Yeah. And tries to be like, hey, I know you literally just fired me like 12 hours ago, but do I have an invention for you? It's my dog. It's your dog? He's what, 1 in 100? 100? Go for the throat, Chomps.
That's Chomp's kill order.
Oh, you activated his karate kick, you dumbass.
The number that no one will ever say, 100.
And
the least common of the numbers. You know, that one.
He's such an idiot. Who uses fucking numbers to...
Well, and why would it be 100? 21 is the do whatever bullshit I need you to do exactly. Read my mind, Chomps. Number. 21? But 100 is kill.
Yeah, it's specifically karate kick.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to point out, though, you say karate kick. The reason why I say kill is because later on, Chomps does that to a, bus that's moving
and knocks it over.
Fucking flips it.
Yes.
So, canonically, Chomps is hitting these people with the force to, destroy a bus.
And at the same time, it was fucking boring, and I don't know how they did that.
I know, yes, yeah. Despite all of this, we made all of this sound so much better than it actually is. It's so flaccid. I don't know how to explain it other than that.
They spend multiple scenes of this dad complaining about computers being a fucking fad and it's a waste of time and computers will never be the future. And the the whole movie. Okay, anyways,
Like I said,
so
it just feels like everything drags. Maybe it's just that everything is like 10 seconds longer than it needs to be. I think
yeah, that
just
could
might
be
be
it.
it. It might just be that because it's just everything's plotting.
So after Chomps karate kicks the dad, he becomes active again in watchdog mode, guard dog mode, which is 21, which is also the do whatever the fuck I want you to do mode, which activates his X-ray vision so he can see completely random, unrelated criminals breaking into the dad's garage to steal something from his car. And then Chomps goes fucking running out, breaks through the door, causing a bunch of collateral damage again after them as they speed off in a truck. The humans get into a car to try and follow, but oh no, the tires were stolen. Wacky zaniness.
Who would fucking steal the tires off their car? Like, it's just such a random crime.
It doesn't make
And
any
it's
sense.
kind of amazing. Like you
They
were saying,
broke in to
this is
steal 8 tires. 8 tires.
I find it really funny that, like you said, this is this is 3 actually, I think, this time.
Oh, is it 3?
This is 3
Yeah.
thieves, but they're unrelated to the first 2 thieves, is the point. And they show up a bunch in this film, and I'm just now realizing the 2 thieves are Red Buttons, and who was the other one? There's another famous actor that was the other one, Chuck McCann, who does like a bunch of voiceover work and stuff. And I bet that they just couldn't get them to set those days.
I don't think they could. Yeah,
I think they were just not paying them enough to do the whole movie.
This led into a quote unquote car chase.
Yeah,
with like some actual stunts, and we even got a cardboard box wall, which I actually love cardboard box walls. I'm gonna be honest, that is great.
The cardboard box wall is such a great trope. So for the people that don't know it, it's just that like during a car chase there will be the road blockage for some reason, but also on the sidewalk will happen to be a wall of cardboard boxes that are all obviously empty once the car crashes into them, which is always amazing.
I love it. It's such a good trope. And it's
goofy. It's so dumb, but it just works. There's something about it that just, I don't know. It's incredible.
It's in so many B-movie schlock shit, and it's in a lot of like action movies, and it's a good joke.
It's cheap to do, and nobody can get hurt. You just run a car through some boxes.
So the car full of thieves that stole exactly 8 tires careen off after the dog pulls a van into the middle of the road into some random warehouse after going through the boxes, and Chomps breaks through the gate by making lightsaber noises, which cuts the fence gate and then lets him in, and then
he gets Magneto powers. It's not even that it cuts the fence, it goes flying.
It goes flying.
It shows a shot of just like the inner grate of the fence across like the backdrop of sky flying away, and you're like, wait, what happened there? And it's a perfect square. It's
their
not
car
bent.
That's so weird. Their car that crashed into the warehouse is underneath a forklift, which has some sort of a load on it. So Chomps goes to the forklift controls and lowers it, crushing and murdering 3 people inside of this vehicle. And then Brian, who is our dickhead main character, and a bunch of other people and cops show up, and they're like, yeah, you fucking killed them. Woo, clean the streets.
Yeah, there's one guy who's like, oh my god, this dog caused so much mayhem. It ran through my whole like inventory, the cardboard boxes, and like pulled my van into the street to almost get hit, and I had to try and get out of the way, and now it's in my private property, and using my forklift and destroyed this car here. And everybody goes like, yeah, we did it. That was Norton Security Systems dog that did it. Like, he leans in to a television reporter that's there and is like, no, it wasn't just anybody that did all of that horrible collateral damage. It was me specifically, Norton Security Systems. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, they should be trying to like slink out of here quietly. It's so fucking wild that he's claiming this, and everybody else just kind of nods their head and they're like, oh, that's very cool. Good job.
I also want your dog to be in my town murdering people.
Yeah, like I just can't wait to have hundreds of thousands of dollars of collateral damage as this dog kills people. Oh wait,
this
it's
is
just
how-
the cops. Oh
Yeah,
goddamn!
no,
we
it's just the
described
cops. It's just the cop. You want to know?
It's just the fucking cops.
Okay.
Wait, you can't spell
Chomps without
Chomps.
cops. Yeah. Did you know that this movie has a dog whistle in it? Anyway,
Oh
so
my god. Oh my god.
okay, we're
The
off track.
dog whistle is
We're
central
off
to the
track.
plot of Chomps.
We're off
Anyway,
track. Okay, so
back on track.
after turning 3 criminals into jam and then jarring them.
Yes. Okay, you might think we're exaggerating here. I just want to stress that this dog, there's 3 people in the front of a truck, like a pickup truck, and there's hardly enough room already in something like that. The dog then lowers it so that the whole top of it is flat with the engine.
The whole cabin. Yes.
Yeah. And the cab is. And the criminals inside, what they do is they say, okay, duck down. There's no way. Some of those men are dead. Maybe not all of them, but at least one.
No, there's a reason they never show them again or talk about them or even bring them up in any sort of conversation. Yes.
Well, I think that it's
because they're super dead. No, I think it's different because they call them different criminals later.
Maybe. There's so many criminals and it's so dark every time they're around and they're all like... The criminals in this film, you likened all of this to like a cartoon. I mean, and it's a Hanna Barbera movie, so it makes sense. But like the criminals in this movie basically are wearing like white and black stripes with like the raccoon eye masks and like that whole thing. Like it's about that tropey. It's real close on how they do them. Like they're not quite that bad, but you can see somebody walking down the street and you're like, oh, that's the criminal. Like instantly,
criminal,
no matter what.
Got just waiting in the bushes every time.
Yeah.
Oh, to be a rich white man who worries about criminals in your bush.
Right? Yeah, everybody's fear in this
Fucking
movie
Christ.
is that there's criminals hiding behind every bush of their palatial gardened mansions.
Jesus Christ.
So with like a criminal that's in like a raccoon eye mask and white and black pinstripes.
With a fucking bag with money signs on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiots.
Like that's what they think criminals are. And
absolutely,
their houses are all these massive gated monstrosities with pawns and statues.
So after the news report about Chomps turning 3 criminals into jam, and then spreading them on toast and eating them, we have...
and for which everyone loves him. Chomps is the best.
Chomps is so good.
Can we get a Chomps in our city? Let's have them chew up all of our communities.
So Chomps gets hired to be night security at a store that apparently sells everything.
Yeah, it's a 70s department store, which means that it is like a Target or something, so it has 1,000 sections.
It's like the what's the sports store in Bill and Ted that Genghis Khan goes through? God, now I watch Bill and Ted to be a way better movie. God.
Oh God, yeah, I was gonna say, get that out of your mouth when you're talking about this.
Okay, so Chomps is on guard duty, and Laurel and Hardy show back up to be like, we're gonna get that dog with this very small bag. The dog that pushed over a van, crushed 3 people to death, caused multiple car accidents, broke through walls and windows and doors, and possibly is a serial killer. A small bag.
Okay. They don't. It's not a serial murder, boys. That was a mass murder. A serial killer would imply multiple times of killing. That comes later in the film. Right now, all that Chomps is a mass murderer.
Okay. So they throw him in the bag. You're like, haha, we got him. And he breaks out, of fucking course.
Yeah.
And chases them through the store, which there was one good joke. One good joke.
Right. Yes, this is the source of one of the good jokes.
I'll let you have it. The one good joke. No,
you should have it. I had up your poop cranny.
So the one good joke is Laurel and Hardy are hiding as mannequins with sports attire. like a fishing pole, and the other one has a racket and a football helmet or something. And Chomps is like, I'm looking at all these mannequins. That one's real. That one's real. These two are fucking idiots. I'm gonna get this automatic tennis pitching machine, and I'm just gonna fucking shoot some tennis balls at them. I guess.
Yep.
Fuck them.
And these actors have to sit there and just get fucking pelted by these tennis balls for like a good minute and a half because this movie doesn't know how to end a scene. So it just keeps rolling for the longest time.
And then
way past the joke's over, and it just keeps going.
Keeps going. I'm like, this is a funny joke. Oh, they're still going.
Yeah, this one was one of the ones where I think that it almost made it better, though. This one kind of got better the longer they held it. I don't think that it was on purpose, that they knew what they were doing with it, but it kind of got better the longer that they were just getting slapped with these tennis balls, at least for me.
Yeah.
I felt like I could see the actual frustration in the actors' eyes at having to do this, because they're both accomplished people, and they're just like, man, fuck this. It's just really good.
So Chomps chases them out and throws them out a window into a garbage bin. And at the exact same moment, 3 other completely unrelated criminals show up in a van and start breaking it. That have nothing to do with the criminals that want the dog. They're just criminals because, sure.
Correct. And the transition really is, they jump into the, like, they fall from, okay, he shoves them out the window, and it's like a shot from the window over top of the dumpster, and you can like see them laying in it. And in that same scene, you see 3 men running past the dumpster to go inside of the store, and then it cuts to them like outside breaking in, and you're like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck is happening? Why is there a criminal in every scene of this movie?
Like, so they're there to steal fur coats. Which Chomp stops by turning over their van and breaking the handle off the doors. They get stuck, and that's where we get where he karate kicked the van.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, to be clear, I don't know that any of these men are dead, but they were in their, like, starting to move van, and he kicks it so hard that it knocks over, and then he rips the, like, door handle off so they can't come out the top. You could seriously injure somebody that way. Like, Chomps is just causing some incredible damage and carnage throughout this movie.
For some reason in the store, Chomps also decides that he needs to have a Batman 66, like, intro from the Batcave every time he fights crime. Yes. I don't know why, but for some reason Chomps is like, oh, I'm gonna ride in on a little conveyor belt that's used to, like, move stuff through the warehouse and then get criminals.
We're gonna have some really good little gifs at various points
like,
of this movie.
Why? But
this
it's
movie's
great.
Not worth watching. Like, we're gonna make this movie look... I'm so afraid that we're gonna make this movie look interesting, and it's super not.
So not.
But, like, yeah, he's just riding around in this little basket on a conveyor belt at a really, really, really slow pace to go throughout this department store for no discernible reason. Like, there's just... I have no idea why that's in there.
I want to get off Chomp's wild ride.
Is that a thing in department stores in the 70s? Do they just have random conveyor belts?
I mean, it looked more like an airport, like, baggage thing than something you would put in a fucking warehouse.
Like, or like the back end of the warehouse.
Yeah.
But, like, all of the crime is in the department store, so why is he going back into the warehouse just to, like, travel in this little box to go to another room?
Look, if you're Chomps and you're hired to fight crime, you are gonna fucking do that in the coolest way possible, right? Like, you would install
why do it the way that they show in this movie, because the rest of it sucks ass.
You would install a fireman's pole while you're sitting there for the night, and you would go whoop, 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 down with, like, Batman noises and shit popping up on screen.
Yeah, okay, but that's not what he did. He did a stupid little box.
Look, you gotta work with what you have, alright?
That's my point. Yes, I would do that. And if they had done that, this movie would be way better. This movie would be so fucking good if it did that. We didn't do that, boys. That's not what this movie did. You're misconstruing this. It didn't do the cool thing. It did the stupid thing. Fuck.
Okay. After he movie stops the 2 criminals and the 3 completely unrelated criminals. We go back to Dad's house, where Chomps is locked in his little, pet carrier.
Mm-hmm.
And Dog, who is real Dog, shows up and lets Chomps out because he was being chased by Monster. And he sets Chomps on Monster instead, and then goes into the carrier and closes the door on himself and locks it for some reason. So they're setting up for, there's a big day where they're trying to make a sale of Chomps to the military to murder people with.
I guess that has to be the implication later on. We don't know who it is yet, but
and
it's gonna go places.
And Dad is like calling Inventor Guy to be like, "Hey, where's Chomps? I need to take him." Oh, just wait till I get there. Okay, but he doesn't.
I just needed to interrupt. I needed to make clear that my last joke, when I said like it's going to go places, I meant like places like Afghanistan and
Look, Obama would buy
South
like
America.
50 Chomps. Obama would have bought so many Chomps.
There's a lot of Chomps that we're going to be going a lot of places.
Not a fan of that. So the dad is like, "Oh, I got Chomps right here. I'll just go to the meeting because I'm not going to wait for him. We're going to be late. So I'll take Chomps, which is real Dog." And Chomps is running off to terrorize Monster instead because
someone demands it, because you need to have the funny joke of the body swap.
Yeah. So at this point, Dad goes to the military to show off Chomps, while Inventor Guy shows back up at Dad's house to go pick up Chomps to go to that meeting, which is setting up, "Hey, I'm not there to tell you that isn't actually Chomps. That's my real dog. Please don't kill my dog."
I believe that this was the time when you were like, "How far in are we?" And I was like, "Well," I looked and I was like, "You're not going to be super upset, but you're not going to be super happy."
The movie was just dragging.
It just takes so long to get anywhere. Like, this sounds interesting, but that's the reality of this. And so like they're doing this military test, and you said, "Please don't kill my dog." You're being serious. Because what is this test, Boyks, when they get to the testing grounds?
So it's 5 military trucks that all have bombs on them, but one of them is real, and if it reaches a thing at the end, it will explode and very much kill that dog.
Correct. We have seen a lot of movies where dogs get run over. A frightening amount of them. This is a fucking new ball game, friend. I had no idea the places we could go.
There were so many scenes of this very real dog almost getting run over by these military vehicles because they were not watching that dog.
The 70s were a very different time. They did not have an ASPCA standing over this film because this scene was tense. For reasons that were unrelated to the actual
I was
film.
very scared for this dog. I thought that it was going to die.
To tires a lot of times.
Okay, so...
But also in the movie, this dog is in extreme danger as it's a fucking bomb. What?
Yes!
I have to wonder, though. Like, I was so confused by this. Who dreamed up this fucking scenario? Because they're testing a home defense dog.
A psychopath. The military is using this to see if they can use this dog to murder people. That is literally the reason.
Okay, but explain how this test helps that.
To set off mines that are buried somewhere, I guess.
But it's not trying to set off mines, it's trying to find the mine, maybe? But, why are there trucks running at the mines at the same time? Why wouldn't it just have to sniff them out?
Their plan to have the mine go off is if an antenna gets bent, and the fucking Chomps dog comes up and grabs it by the antenna and bends it, and it doesn't blow up. So I don't know.
Bends it immediately. This dog runs up and it's like, "Oh my god, I know exactly where the explosive is. It's right here. I'll grab this antenna and pull it."
Yeah, so Chomps shows up to save our real dog and immediately sets off the thing that should blow it up, but it doesn't. Fuck you, movie. And then Chomps takes the very real live mine to an outhouse nearby that has tools written on the top,
Even
implying
though
it's
it's
a tool
obviously
shed,
an outhouse.
but it's clearly an outhouse.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking guy in there smoking a cigar, which is from a competing company that wants to use capitalism to destroy this other company by stealing their money and plans and destroying everything they do with C.H.O.M.P.S. And he fucking blows the fuck up.
Yeah, he's using a capitalism to try and destroy their company. Well, they're trying to use, and that would be terrible because their company is trying to use capitalism to send C.H.O.M.P.S bombs overseas.
Okay.
Yep.
So at the same time, the man who was in the porta potty set our two bumbling Laurel and Hardy criminals off to their company to break into their safe and steal the plans for C.H.O.M.P.S so that they can build their own competing C.H.O.M.P.S using capitalism and make money. Now these two fucking morons.
No. Okay, I'm gonna correct you here. There are 3 fucking morons here because the last moron is the rival at the office that we hadn't said that's actually a double
that
agent
dickhead.
for this person because it doesn't matter.
Who cares? Yeah.
But that guy who's kind of the rival of our main character, like the other possible love interest, even though it's never really in question. He also is part of this because they have this stupidest fucking setup for this, and it bothers me so goddamn much. He's telling them, okay, I'm going to get you in. I'll turn off the security because I work there. I'm their top employee. And they go, okay. And he goes, all right. And then once you're inside, I'll turn security back on. Why? Why would he do that?
I don't know.
And then he's like, oh, you'll need a secret signal to tell me so you can get back out because security will be back on again. Even though I'm just going to be standing here with the key that turns security off and on, but I'll just turn it back on just for shits and giggles, I guess? It's so fucking dumb. And he's like, and then when you give me the signal, I'll turn it off again, and then I'll reactivate. And it's like, you could just leave it off, you dumb fuck.
They sure could.
It's the most frustrating, stupidest thing. I was screaming at the screen the whole time this was happening. Because it's such a stupid setup.
So Laurel and Hardy put some plastic explosive on the safe and then try to get away, but the alarm goes off. At the same time, or at least a little bit before, our inventor friend, he's not a friend, fuck this guy, learns of their plot because they use their secret word call to code talk to the guy who got blown up in the porta potty about them breaking into the safe. So they drive there fast.
Yeah, he's got like a walkie-talkie on him, so they overhear it on the radio, like the shortwave radio they have back and forth, and they decipher it immediately because they're all idiots.
And then Laurel and Hardy, do they escape? I don't remember what happens to them. I think they get arrested, something. I don't know. I don't really care.
They're jumping outside of the building, and then they get stuck back in.
Who gives a shit?
I don't remember.
So they disappear from the movie. Thank you. And our inventor friend and woman who is just a prop that follows them around to be a woman on screen go into the office with C.H.O.M.P.S, who promptly takes the plastic explosive off of the safe and heroically jumps out the window and fucking explodes.
It becomes a giant fucking fireball.
And then a smoldering corpse on the ground.
And then they hold on the smoldering corpse of C.H.O.M.P.S on the ground for a while. Yeah.
And then they zoom in on it to show more. And then they get the real dog to come in and bring a bone to it.
Well, no. They first have the little dog come in and lick its face tenderly to try and wake it. Then it goes back off screen and brings the bone. They milk this shit. Then he looks down at C.H.O.M.P.S and he's like, wait, his nose wiggled a little bit. And then he looks over down and he goes, oh, look, and I think his tail waggled. He's got some spark left in him.
The
he
AI
still feels pain.
Yeah, they did not install a thing for affection, but goddamn it, they installed pain. They definitely did. You need that robot to feel pain. Fuck you, movie. So C.H.O.M.P.S AI has evolved. He's learned to kill even more. And our inventor friend does the one thing that is the most logical and makes 50 more of them to have an army of chomps, which will be a ultimate killing machine.
Yeah, to send off. I mean, we've already covered this. We all saw the military tests. We know what's gonna happen.
And at the same time,
Chomps marching around the world.
Yeah, I think. Up your poop granny shows up, and and she's like, my dog's still missing. I'll blow my dog whistle. Oh wow, it's the dog whistle that causes them to go for the throat. Weird. And the whole army runs off into the fucking town to kill everyone. And one of them goes after Monster for one last fuck you to destroy his doghouse. And we get the best ending to this movie that it could have ever gotten, and I will gift you this, my friend.
Oh shit.
It's fucking Shaq saying oh shit. It's Shaq. It ended on Shaq.
The longest, saddest oh shit. Why is it bothering this poor dog?
Oh shit.
Wow!
No!
What? But what?
And it just ends.
It just ends. This movie just, yep, that's just the end of it. This Chomps all went berserk and started killing, and out of his hands, it was the whistle the whole time. Well, guess we're all dead. Oh well. I made too many murder bots, and now they all go insane. Whoopsie. End of movie.
What the fuck?
Send. The movie's over. Get the fuck out the theater. We need to clear all this popcorn off so we can get the next group of idiots in.
Well, that was Chomps.
We need the next group of suckers to stop by our theater. We gotta clean out from, like, the 2 things of popcorn, because there's no way there's more people than that in this fucking theater. Not at the end of the film.
I can't believe this shit.
I can't. This was released in theaters, too. This is a theatrical release.
Yeah.
This isn't a TV movie or anything.
What else does this guy work on? Tom and Jerry, The Jetsons, Flintstones. Man, this guy's a fucking hack. Yogi Bear. Scooby-Doo.
Well, the director's a hack, weirdo. Too. He did Jason and the Argonauts, 1 million years BC. Oh, Huh. Why did all of these talented people get together and make the worst fucking shit?
It's baffling. It's baffling.
This is a real weird tragedy of a movie, because it feels like it has all of the makings of something really fun. Like, we had a blast with the Shaggy DA.
Yes.
That movie was great. That movie ruled. There was a lot of weird, stupid bullshit in it, and it ended up being so much better than we could have ever possibly imagined, because they just took the weird shit and went for it, and had, like, fun with it. This is so soulless. There's just nothing. It feels like nobody cared about it at all.
To be fair, you don't have to have a soul when every time you do anything that's possibly computer related, you make spaceship noises. Pew 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 pew. Directive 21. Pew pew pew.
There are some redeeming moments. The pew pew pews from the computer, like the oh shit, the up your poop granny. There are some genuine moments of joy in this film, but it's just way too thin across way too much garbage.
Yeah.
I wish that it was better, because there are some things to mention in this film that are amazing. That military test is unbelievable. That is
so ridiculous.
Fucking weird ending, and it's so insane. It's amazing. I love that whole scene, start to finish, all of it. But God, the rest of it just doesn't make up for it. This is one of those things where it is the sum of its parts, and the sum is terrible.
let's talk about the dogs, right? Let's move
Yeah.
on. Let's move on.
We've
So we
got
got
3 different dogs. Well, 4 actually in this movie.
there are 4. So let's rate Chomps, the taxidermy robot.
C.H.O.M.P.S needs to get ahead in life. And that's because the director keeps ripping it off. What
Keeps
the
fucking
fuck?
beheading that
Why
dog.
do they
Yes.
keep doing body horror with dogs to us? That was one of the things that... It's hard to explain how disturbing it was the first time that he's peeling the skin slowly off of Chomps.
I still
It's
feel
not an enjoyable experience. Like, if I was... Can you imagine in 79, you're 8 and your parents take you to the theaters and you watch this man skin this dog and then decapitate it? It is real disturbing. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like I would have had a lot of memories of Chomps if I had been the right age and watched this. Because, man, that was fucked up. Like, I had trouble watching some of these scenes, even now. I don't know why they did. There's so many baffling things in it.
I would rate Chomps a come with me if you want to live out of 10.
He's a murder machine. They couldn't even blow him up at the end.
No.
They showed that he was still alive.
Like, this movie would have been better if they just dropped Chomps into a molten steel vat at the end and it, like, thumbs
Then
up.
he can just, like, make slowly... He can slowly have gunshots going off the whole time as he's dying.
Yeah.
And then it slowly gets, like, that distorted...
And, like, seal noise or something at the end. That would be so good. God, we need to start writing movies. We
the
make
final
way better movies.
gunshots fade out. Because I cannot stress how many times Chomps is running through this film with his mouth open, just making random gunshot fucking noises. Which, in 79, I guess was okay, but nowadays feels like it would be a problem.
It would be a big problem. What was the dog's name that Chomps was modeled after? Do you remember?
Rascal. I had them all written down. Yeah.
I thought Rascal was very cute and a very good dog, and I would rate Rascal a 12 out of 10.
Rascal is a Rascal out of 10. Every time that Rascal is Rascal in this movie and not Chomps, Rascal gets up to some shit, and I kind of love it.
Yeah. Rascal is a stay away from large military vehicles out of 10.
Yes, yeah, like, most of all, dealing with explosives and large military vehicles.
Yeah, kind
Do not run in and out of the tires of any more vehicles, Rascal.
Muffin is the small white toy dog that Up Your Poop Grandma has. Yeah, I thought that dog was also very cute, but not as cute as Rascal. Probably like a 10 out of 10.
I'm not actually sure if the Up Your Poop Granny, by the way, is directed at the grandma or Muffin.
Whatever.
Which kind of rules. So I just want to rate that as, that's Muffin's rating for me. It's just an Up Your Poop Granny. Because I'm pretty sure it was for her.
And the last dog is Monster.
Who is obviously an shit.
And not an energy drink. I would rate Monster a Shaft Son out of 10.
Fuck, Monster is just that Shaft Son.
It's
what
true.
Dog form? I mean, we've seen the Shack Dog. We now have Shaft Son.
That's true. That's true.
God. I hated this film. I need to stress how much I hated this film. Because, I'm just dying here. I'm struggling to finish this because I hated this movie so much.
Oh, man.
Well, I hope that comes across to all of you listening. Just how much Chomps is a giant pile of shit. And if I could go back in time and destroy it a la Terminator style, I totally would.
Alright, we're going to have to end this episode of Rough Cuts by finishing up the wood paneling in our basement. So if you need anything, we'll be down there.
Yeah, I've got my staple gun. Let's go.
Yeah, alright.
No, that's okay. God, Pissmas killed me.
I wanted to tweet that, but I'm like, I don't know if I should tweet Pissmas. I had to second